Welcome back. This is lesson 34, unit rates. Today's objective is to solve proportions to find the unit rate of a scenario. So let's start off with our definition. A rate is a ratio that compares two quantities measured in different units. So a unit rate is a rate that has a denominator of 1. We're looking for how much or the value of one of the items in our situation. So for this example, it says that we have miles per hour or revolutions per minute. So miles per hour might be going how fast you're going. Sometimes we see it as, I apologize. Sometimes we see it as miles per hour, or written like this, miles in our proportion per hour. And then revolutions per minute, how many times you can spin around in 1 minute. Turn around, do your bicycle, do a turn on your bicycle or your skateboard in 1 minute. So revolutions, I'm going to abbreviate, per minute. I'd like you to pause the video now and copy this under one section of your flipbook under unit rates. All right, well, let's do some examples now. We want to find what the unit rate is for the given situation, the given scenario. In our first example, we have 6 movie tickets that cost $45. I went to the movie this weekend. It was lots of fun, very expensive, but I had a great time. Always love going to the movies. All right, so in this situation, we're looking for comparing our two parts. Our movie tickets is one part, and the cost in dollars for the second one. Well, this situation, we're going to have to figure out the cost of one ticket. So therefore, we kind of have to reverse the order that we set things up. If we're saying that the denominator of our unit rate has to be 1, so what are we trying to figure out one of? Exactly, we're looking for one movie ticket. So in that case, let's go over here and start our units. So this is our movie ticket, will be on the bottom, and on top will be the cost. All right, so we know for $45, it'll be $6. 6 tickets, I apologize. So how much will it be for one ticket? So this is what we're looking for. Well, we're going to divide. We're going to say, well, how can 6 become 1 or 1 become 6? So we can either multiply 1 by 6 or we can divide 6 by 6 to get that. So therefore we have to do the same thing. We can't multiply by 6. We don't want to multiply 45 times 6, so instead we want to divide by 6. Well, if we do 45 divided by 6, we get that x is equal to 7.5. Well, what does that mean? Since we're talking about money and we have a decimal value, that means that this is our change value, so our cents. So this is going to be $7.50. We always need to add that extra number there. So therefore, one ticket is going to cost $7.50. Go ahead, pause, and copy this into the other part of your flipbook under unit rates. Let's continue to do some practice. Even though you won't need to add these to your notebook, I would like you to practice them on a separate piece of paper or a whiteboard if you can. Follow along with me. In example number 2, we're looking at 4 calculators that cost $180. Okay, so again, what are we comparing? We're comparing our calculators to the cost in dollars. So again, we want to set it up so we have a proportion. A proportion again is 2 ratios that are equivalent to each other. And since we're doing a unit rate, we know that the denominator of our second ratio has to be a denominator of 1. So therefore, we're looking for one calculator. All right, so calculator on the bottom. And, oh, I spelled that completely wrong, didn't I? This is why I teach math and not spelling. So a calculator, and we want to know the cost. So it costs $180. Woo, that's a lot of money for 4 calculators. So how much for one? Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to divide by 4. If we divide the bottom by 4, we have to do the same to the top. Divide the top by 4. So 180 divided by 4 is our value we're looking for. So one calculator is equal to, and again, this is the cost, so it's in money, $45. Dollar sign is always written in front. I know it's weird because we say it after the number, but we always write it in America in front of that. Since we don't have any change or cents to add to it, we don't need to include that value. All right, this time we're looking for 7 pencils that cost $16. Since we wrote out the word dollars, it came after the fact. So let's figure this out. So again, what are we comparing? We're comparing pencils and we're comparing the cost in dollars. All right, so again, set up our 2 ratios that are equivalent to each other. Since we're looking for our unit rate, we're going to have a denominator of 1 in our final ratio. Very good. All right, so what are we going to have on the bottom of our unit here? We're going to have our pencils. And on top will be the dollars. All right, so therefore, now that we know what our parts are, let's go find our values. So what goes on top is dollars, so we're going to have $16 on top. And we're going to have pencils on the bottom, so that's 7, so we'll have 7 pencils on the bottom. And we're looking for this missing value. So we're going to divide by 7 on the bottom. Therefore, we're going to divide by 7 on the top. And it's not going to be a pretty number, is it? Nope. So how much does 1 pencil cost? I'm going to go ahead and put my dollar sign down first. And we got a number of 2.2857, blah, 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 blah. Since we're talking about money, we want to round it, so we have 2 places after the decimal for money. So in this case, we're going to look to 5, and 5 is going to tell us that we need to round up. So our final value for the cost of 1 pencil would be $2.29. That would be the cost for 1 pencil. Very good. All right, in our last scenario, we have 90 miles for 4 gallons of gas. So here we go. Set up our proportion. It's a unit rate, so we're going to have 1 as our final denominator, and then these are going to be our units over here. What are we comparing? That's right. We're comparing miles and we're comparing gallons of gas. All right, in this case, what would make more sense? To figure out what 1 mile costs in gas, or how many miles you can go for 1 gallon of gas? I agree. I think we're going to go for gallons of gas on the bottom. So I'm just going to write gas because I don't have a whole lot of room. So gas will be on the bottom. Miles will be on the top. So our first case, where did the miles number go? So we have 90 miles. That goes on top. And our gas is 4 gallons of gas goes on the bottom. And we're looking for how many miles we can go for 1 gallon of gas. So what should we do? That's right, we're going to divide by 4. So divide by 4 on the bottom. divide by 4 on the top. So 90 divided by 4 is the miles that we're going to get for 1 gallon of gas. And in this case, we're going to get 22.5. We're going to get miles per gallon. I wonder if that's in the city, driving in town, or driving on the highway. Interesting. So as you get older, you'll be wanting to know about how many miles you can get per gallon on your cars that you'll be driving. All right, well, we're at the end of our lesson, so now it's time for the Your Turn page. Here, you're going to need to start a new page, do your 6 boxes, label them, copy down our 2 problems, and show all your work to find the value. Good luck. I'll see you next time.